What is up, bros? So another season of Rainbow Six has come to an end, so it is time for my list of top 10 favorite tips and tricks that I've learned this past season. Couple things to keep in mind: this is not a list of top 10 technically perfect tips and tricks, but instead my personal favorite tricks that I learned in year 3 season 3 and I find myself using the most. All of what I will show you is still very useful even though the season has come to an end and the new one is already a few days in. I can guarantee you that some of you may have been doing these since before this season, and I can also guarantee you that I've been using certain tricks since the beginning of time that would be brand new to some people. So basically, opinions being opinions, these are my top 10 opinions. But who knows, maybe you have a favorite trick that you've learned this season and you would like to share it down below. Also, if you guys like my list of top 10 tricks, I know that the legend Alan from the Dangleberries is also going to be doing a top 10 list of his favorite tricks from last season. I'll link his channel down below so it's easy access for you guys. Anyways, let's kick this list off starting with
10.
And at number 10 is one of the best ways how to handle when you don't have a thermite or a Habana. This is the Maverick trick. Now, instead of just drawing a circle for you to go through and using a ton of your ammo, you can simply draw lines from one side of a reinforced wall to the other, above and below it, and everything in between will be deleted as far as the reinforced wall. Now, NIKO originally showed me this trick back on October 11th, and since then we've definitely found ourselves in situations when we needed to use it. Especially if you have a Maverick traveling with someone like Buck or Ash, you guys won't have anything ever stopping you. And this is great also because it will work even if there are Kaid's new Electroclaws on the walls.
That's just metal.
9.
Now in at number 9, we're going to be doing a throwback back to parkour episode number 7, where we learn how to stand on top of the bomb in CEO office on bank. Now from here, you can cover a huge majority of skylight stairs and the skylight stairwell. This angle is so good because when people first see it, they're gonna just assume that you're gonna impact trick the wall once a thermite or Habana starts placing their charges on. Little do they know, actually the tip of your forehead is gonna be sticking up and over the top of the reinforced wall, picking off anybody. Now the attacker is gonna be looking all kinds of other different directions. It's gonna be very, very rare if they even actually check up here before you get the kill on them. Now in at number 8, we are going to be doing 2 amazing pre-fires on Skyscraper for anybody that spawns up on tower and goes up to pre-fire the other windows. Basically, these are going to be 2 awesome pre-fires to pre-fire the pre-firer, if that makes sense. This first one's going to be in reception, and NIKO figured out that you can see the very tip of the forehead on anybody approaching the tower. This one's definitely easier with an ACOG because the angle is very, very slight, but if you can land this, they're not going to see it from a million years away. Now the second pre-fire is going to be from Lounge, and I originally saw this from Godly's video, and he figured out that you can just simply shoot or melee a tiny little hole in the wall in Lounge that's going to be going through VIP all the way to the corner on tower. You guys can see that it's pretty much impossible to see it when you're standing on the north side, let alone all the way out onto the tower. From here, it's so safe to do, and that's what makes these spots so great. These are very low risk, high reward spots, and that's what lands this one at number 8. In at number 7, we have some pretty cool game mechanics that are not widely known among the Siege community. Now, I did cover this one previously in the season, so if you know about these already, feel free to skip ahead to the next trick. Basically, the mechanic is that you can get not just Capital bolts, but Ash charges, Zofia charges, as well as a couple other cool gadgets through gaps as small as bullet holes. This makes it possible for you to open up lines of sight that are nearly impossible for the defenders or whoever your victims are gonna be. Now here you can see me shoot Capital bolts through two surfaces, one bullet hole through the door on garage and the other bullet hole on the big door in garage, and I'm shooting all the way back towards the junkyard spawn. Now we're taking this mechanic and we're gonna be jumping on over to border. You can follow my crosshair directions on screen. I'm gonna pause them with little red notifications. We're putting one bullet hole through the window, a second bullet hole through the wall, and this is gonna be the ultimate mirror counter that you've ever seen. Now get ready to be called a hacker, because you're basically just gonna make a bolt appear on top of the mirror and completely wipe them out. Now on top of being able to do this with Capital bolts, you can also do this with Ash breaching charges. You can get really creative. The spots are absolutely endless if you take this game mechanic and just implement it into somewhere that you want to take somebody out. The spots that you can do this with are pretty much infinite. I'm going to leave a couple more examples so that you guys can follow along, as well as a couple Ash breaching charges so that you guys can see them go through the tiny holes in the walls and windows. I absolutely love this game mechanic, and we've been pulling off some really cheeky stuff all last season with it, and it's still not widely known among the community.
Six.
Now in it, number 6 is a really cool way on how you can attack the tower safely, even though it seems like it's really aggressive and you're not in that good of a spot. We learned this from a Pro League game earlier in the season, and we saw Team Noble melee out the bottom of the doors in Dining Hall in Oregon, and from here you actually have the green trash cans with the yellow lids protecting you, to the point where at the angle from looking down at it, the garbage cans actually fully protect you, as well as the door looks like it's intact, so it makes the bullets that much harder to trace back to where they came from. You guys can see me rappelling up here, where right now I would be very vulnerable to shots from the doorway. I might even glance over here, but my perspective looks like the door is completely shut. It's pretty much nearly impossible to tell if somebody's laying down about to take shots at you unless you have a drone on them.
Five.
Now in at number 5, we have an insane pre-fire spot that you guys can use with Buck, Ash, or any other operator that can open up a floor. This one was shared to us by the legend NIKO, yet again, no stranger to the channel. He shares with us how you can safely stand outside of the window upstairs outside of the bedroom and completely cut off rotations onto the central stairs. Now you can even shoot out the hole in the bar to the stairs in a way where unless they're crouching, they wouldn't even be able to see it. NIKO also shows us that you can get this same angle from the weight room window so that you're not just facing straight ahead of it.
4.
Now our number 4 spot, I had the pleasure of witnessing NIKO pull this off the very first time I ever saw it pulled off in a game. You can create an angle on coastline that goes through the kitchen window, through the wall into kitchen, through the hallway, and then you can vault over the edge on the second floor, and if you lay down correctly, your legs will be in front of you and the angle will be so that the attacker on the outside of the window, even if they get the pixel shot on you, they're only going to be shooting your toes. Meanwhile, your head is going to be safely back and you can take out anybody that approaches this window, especially if the attacker doesn't have time to rotate around and there's only a few seconds left of the round when the objective is downstairs in the kitchen. Pretty much a guaranteed for the defender upstairs.
Of cover here in favor of FaZe. Trying to take that Valkyrie camera, which just proves elusive so far. Oh, Jonas trying to get it on his stomach, and Yuna will send him to the grave.
Now this camera spot is one of the strongest cameras that you can possibly do on Bank. We saw this one from the most recent Pro League tips where G2 faced FaZe Clan in Brazil in the Pro League finals. Now the power of this camera spot was on display. First of all, they completely knew that the camera was there. They were trying to take it out and they couldn't get an angle onto it based on the type of placement that it is. You can see that this covers all the main areas as well as the most popular place to plant downstairs once they blow up the wall. Now on top of that, I'm going to show you 2 extra cameras so that you guys can have a full setup from anybody attacking from this side of the map. This doesn't cover garage, so if you want to change one out, feel free to go throw an extra camera in the garage. On either of these bushes is a great spot to place a camera. I like to do the parkour one that we did a few months back where you jump up on top of the railing and throw it on top because then the plants protect it so well. The other one is going to be in server room, and this one blends in so well with the environment as well as you get so much coverage of the room. It really complements the whole camera setup. Now jumping on to number 2, we have 2 very insanely safe spawn kill spots that you guys can start going for. The odds of you getting killed while going for these spawn kills are very low, and that is why they are ranked so high up on this list. Unless the dude lines up a crazy lucky pixel peek and headshots you, on top of even looking in that general direction, you're gonna be good to go. Now this second one is gonna be from NIKO. He posted this one back on Twitter on October 14th, and he figured out that you can get an angle from Freezer on Cafe all the way down into the spawn area where people like to run and jump over this fence. You're going through the floor, through the wall and fireplace hall, and out of the window into the fireplace hall. Now not only is this insanely safe, but even if the attackers know that you're going for this, if they try to contest it, you're gonna see their feet before they can even see the angle up to you.
1.
Now for the number 1 spot on my personal favorite tricks that I've learned last season. This is gonna be one of the craziest angles that NIKO has ever taught me, and this is not just something that's insanely high reward, low risk. This is something that you can go for any time that somebody's defending downstairs in the kitchen. This site will show up for hostage, secure area, and bomb, and even when they reinforce the wall, you're still gonna be shooting over it. Now this is just the tip of the iceberg with the spot shooting it from red carpet, because not only can you get an angle from the red carpet, you can also do this by laying down on the stairs and standing up on top of the table, and something even crazier that I'm gonna show you at the end of this clip. Now you're gonna need to clear roamers on the top floor anyway, so as soon as you guys get done droning well and clearing those roamers, you can pretty much always go for these angles, and once you have everybody pushed back on site, guess where they're gonna be? Running around through these lines of sight straight into your crosshairs. You guys are gonna get some insane kills and you're gonna blow the mind of the people that you kill. Anyways, you guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this list of top 10 tricks that I learned this past season. I hope you guys are all having a great December so far. Happy holidays. Don't forget, I'm doing the Coconut Bra Christmas giveaway with Disrupt, giving away a gaming chair. I'll link that down below. I'll see you guys all very soon in the next video. I love you all. Peace.